Alright, so hello and welcome back. Okay, so for this video series, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to continue playing the Project Genome because it wasted a lot of time and I wasn't able to do a whole lot in the game, which absolutely frustrated me. However, I am going to play this new game, and this new game is actually called Erisle. I think it's called Erisle, not entirely sure. And something I'm going to do, if I remember it, with all of my games, is I'm going to put the clocking information of what I use while I'm using it. So as you can see, we have my R9 200 series. It's actually a 270X, and then I have my drive. And then if we go up here, we have my processor value. You don't really need to know my motherboard. These are all set at standard speeds. They don't really change all that much. But what is interesting is the temp values while running these games. It looks like I may have to replace my GPU fan here and give it a little time. Because it does look like my GPU fan is getting rather hot without me using very much of it. It shows my memory. And because I get interested whenever these games utilize multiple cores. As you can see, Core 4 here is pretty much at a constant 0. I have several different things running at the same time. So you'll see these jump up significantly when I play a game. And that's how you know which cores are being used by the game. And like I said in Project Genome, I saw a significant increase in 4 cores. So the game was optimized to use 4 cores. Now, this is a development channel. What you'll see me playing whenever I do these dev plays is I'll be playing the early access games, the games that want to know how they can improve and want to know where they can improve, along with some suggested additions. And there goes my fucking phone. So this is a dev channel. It's for those people who want feedback on their games, but it's also for people who are trying to learn what I look at when I look at a video game, because I am a game developer. I went into code wanting to develop games, and I developed 3 games by myself. I didn't release them to the public because they were crappy games in my opinion, and I kept them for myself. But I spent a heavy amount of experience working with HTML and JavaScript, and then over to Python, and then over to Unity software, and then my newest game software that I'm playing around with is Game Maker. So I know what I'm talking about when I go into these games because I have developed games like them. One thing that you won't see on this channel quite yet is VR development, and that's because, looking at the stats of my computer, you can already tell I do not have the power for it. I do plan to buy a Ryzen and a Vega, and hopefully during those times I'll be able to bump my computer up enough to where I can play VR games. That way I can tell people where they can improve their VR games. But for right now, I'm just going to be playing PC games, and I'm going to be pointing out errors, what should happen, what shouldn't happen, and my theories. This is a dev theory channel. This is a theory channel. So this is my opinion. This is not factual. This is just what I think as a professional web developer. Alright, now that long expose is out of the way, and I've messed up a few times, let's go ahead and dive into the game. Beautiful music, though. Absolutely beautiful score. But that text moved way too fast for me to read it. I could only read like half of that text. And I can't go back, and I can't read that again. So, already messing up there. Gotta figure... I would allow them to click through it. That's what I would do. Some people like to develop by making it an auto-scroll, but I would personally allow them to click through it. Okay, so we've reached a black screen. I'll go ahead and cut to where we actually... Some good graphics. Oh gosh. Man, I can feel the clunkiness of this. Okay. I will say excellent UI, but look at all the cores. This is not developed to... What? Oh. What is this doing? Why would you make an English game and then put... Oh, man, come on, guys. What is this supposed to do? How am I supposed to exit out of this? What is going on? I haven't even been in this game for a couple minutes and it's already messing up. How do I click out of this? I can't click out of this! Oh, escape key. Wow, okay. Okay. Oh, some serious lag. That's got some serious lag there. So, laggy input. Yeah, it looks like it's primarily Warning, detected biological movement in front. Why did my picture stop? Oh, man. That was real. What happened? I don't even know what happened. Oh, what is that thing? I'm clicking my mouse as hard as I can. There's so much input lag. And I have no map. Oh, wait. Oh, we got a map here. That's not really a map. It's a cool map. Okay. Oh, what? I hear an enemy. What is this thing next to me? What does that thing do? I am thankful for the fact that this does have an area I'm supposed to go. Let's go up here. I am glad that this points me in the right direction. What the? There's him. What is that? Okay. I have no idea what that was. Oh, I can jump. So, most of it's in English. That's a good thing, right? Come with me. It's over here. Oh, there. Again, what was that? What did I hit? Oh, every time I turn, I can feel the input lag. Like, this is a cool game and all, but what? Okay. I still have no idea what I'm doing. His input lag is for real. I don't know if I'm interrupting the combo or the button isn't registering. What the heck is this? I was saving you as cool creatures. Oh my gosh. I have no idea what. Why? Okay, so I got some serious input lag here. My recording software is only taking up 9% of the overall CPU usage. The rest of it, I see that the game is skyrocketing with multiple core uses. But I don't really see where the input lag could be coming from because my recording software shouldn't be interfering with it at 9%. I'm gonna stop recording for a second and play around just to see if it was my recording software. So I'll be right back. I may play it again. I don't know right now. I may play it again. That was a little arduous, and I'm pretty sure no one appreciated the in the background. But this is what happens with early access games. You know, you go in. I know it's either gonna be a ball of errors that need fixing, or just a few minor changes. And this looks like one massive change that needs to happen. The massive change being that I never really saw my GPU go up very high. I did see my CPU go up tremendously high, and that should not happen. That means that they specifically chose CPU-based architecture. When they developed their game, they developed it for a CPU usage that was really high, but a GPU usage that was really low. And it could be that was because that was the gear they had attached to it, but I don't know. That probably means that they used a lot of libraries that accessed. Oh, okay. I legitimately thought that was somebody in my house. Okay, so I didn't record it, but if you probably heard the noise. Oh, let's see if it shows it. Yeah, okay. I legitimately thought that was somebody in my house. That is the video for the Steam page. Looks like that they're fairly early. Having released in February 19th of 2015, but I see an update for December 2 of 2016 with test and test 1. That's buggy audio with broken English subtitles that move way too quickly to really read about the story, which is incredibly cliched. One of, well, this space-time anomaly happens so naturally we send explorers and they disappear, go see why they're gone. There are no feelings of uniqueness or interest that sets this game's art styles or visual themes apart from other generic sci-fi stuff. Yeah, I can actually see where that review is coming up from. It says impressive graphics, impressive soundscape, really poorly optimized graphics leads to bad frame rates. Well, as we saw, it was mainly because they're using a CPU rather than using the GPU. I found a bug exploit. I found a number of bugs actually. Poor English doesn't count. Poor English is there's more than just poor English. There is way more than poor English. Let's see, graphically okay, functionality, crap, very underdeveloped, hence the bad reviews. It's not underdeveloped. I'm gonna say that the developer is rather new. I'm gonna say that this was an indie development, right? So, again, fine, I'm just gonna mute you. I didn't play you. Okay, so I'm gonna open up me a new tab. No, you stop it. Okay, game, right, go ahead. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, it does look like their native tongue is definitely not English. It looks like they have a Wix website, and because we have Google, we can translate this into English. Okay, game settings. Okay, development of information, latest news, team introduction, home. Okay, so it does look. This is definitely what looks like an indie development, okay? It doesn't look, because, I mean, this is a Wix website. Come on, guys. It does look like they are in the beginning ages of their game life. So, it does look like that ZBrush. Nice. I think I'll come back and look at their stuff later on. But it definitely looks like they're a new company trying to get into the gaming world. Looks like they were modelers before they were game developers. Either that, or they're just showing off. So, that's my opinion on the game. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off now. Okay. Alright. So, the developers, I've heard the reviews of the people. I have actually echoed what those reviews said. I've gotten to a little bit more refined aspects about the game, but generally, I've said the exact same things. The input is really laggy, and I think that's because most of the game is handled by the GPU. The graphics are actually pretty good. You need an intro tutorial, even if it's just a textual one. You need an intro tutorial to tell people what your controls are for and which ones do what. Because for a long time there, I played a lot of games, so I can generally feel out the different controls. But you do need a tutorial for people who are just getting into the game. If you really want to make this work, you need a tutorial to show them what to do. Let me bring up the Steam page again because I actually want to see the system requirements. Yeah, they don't even need a GTX 960. They don't need a GTX 960 because the GTX 960 is not something that they absolutely. I mean, my 290 was barely used. So maybe that's because I don't know. I put it on beautiful instead of fantastic. But I have a feeling that if I put it on fantastic, it would have just needed more processing power. I think there's only really 2 different layers of textures, and one is slightly less power consuming than the other. I don't know. There's a lot to be had with this game. There's a lot of improvements that need to work with this game, and the developers have a very long road ahead of them. Beyond what I saw, you do need to improve some of the lighting in some of the areas, and that's it. Honestly, if you were to improve the user control, the game would be done. I haven't really seen a point in the game where the game was that bad. You do need some text, and you need to fix the English, the Mandarin or katakana over to English. If you're gonna have an English game, you need to switch it over to English fully. You can't just half-ass it. You need to fully switch the language over, and I know that takes time. But most of it was just user input problems, and the fact that I think that is directly correlated with the fact that I think you're using mostly CPU logic rather than GPU logic to control your stuff. I honestly think that you're relying more on the CPU than you are on the GPU, because I barely saw the GPU being used inside of my game. But that's the end of my video, so I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!